Hey, Vibe, I can't hear you for some reason. Yeah, oh, I can't hear you, Vibe.
What's up?
Oh, okay, I can hear you now.
Guys got me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good,
Yeah, yeah.
good. All right. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna go ahead and start the show and then introduce you guys and let you guys take on the mic and you guys can ask me questions too.
Yeah, great, great.
Hello, everyone. This is episode 18. My friends Hoa and Jennifer from the Bay. How's it going, guys?
Hey, good, my friend.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
of course, of course.
All right. Well, yeah, let me introduce myself, and then my better half can introduce herself. I'm Wale. I happen to be an oncologist. My wife and I here, we started Reach Career Mentoring. Uh, you'll see that's the login that my wife is logged in under, Reach Career Mentoring. And we'd love to tell you all about what Reach Career Mentoring is about and how we came to be. And we'll get to that in a second. And again, thank you for having us, Vibe.
Of course, anytime.
Good.
I'm Jennifer, and Juan and I are married. My background is that I'm a pediatrician, and I've been doing that for the past 19 years. And Juan and we've been on this journey together, and we were finally found ourselves in a position where we could really give back to the community. And so we started this nonprofit, and I'm going to have Wa tell you, how this originated.
Yeah. So, gosh, let's start at the beginning, right? I happen to have T12 paraplegia. I was injured more than 20 years ago, so more than 2 decades now. We were actually on our honeymoon when this happened. It was a surfing accident. I was in the middle of my internal medicine residency, so I was in the middle of training, if you will, and basically took a 15-month break or so. Uh, it was tough. It was tough, as many of you out there may know. It was difficult. It was difficult trying to relearn how to live, relearn how to be the new you. And I remember coming back. I love medicine. I love the idea of taking care of people like that, right? We all take care of each other in different beautiful ways. This is just how I always love to do it, right? And it's what I'm good at. So, I always knew I was going to come back, and when I did, it was it was the hardest thing I'd ever done in my life. And when I say that, it one of the most difficult things. There there was no mentorship. It was just come back, uh, get thrown into the pool and try to learn how to swim again. Uh, uh, hey, figure it out, and you just do you, and you be you, and whatever. Again, there was no one to turn to, no mentorship, and very, I felt very isolated, very alone at times. And so, born from this, right, was upon reflecting on that, it hit me that what do other people do? What do other people do in any circumstance? They try to get back to it, and they have nowhere to turn. What? Yeah, yeah, exactly. How do we? Where do we even start? And here's the thing too, Vibe and everyone out there. It's not even about specifically having mentorship in the field that you're in,
Yeah.
or the work that you're doing and that sort of thing. It's not even necessarily that. It would have been awesome even just to have someone to talk to and say, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, go ahead, Vibe. You're going to say something.
It's been like totally awesome being part of that, part of Reach.
Yeah, yeah. You've been amazing, And exactly, it would be great just to have someone to talk to. And when I say that, someone who's been through it. And that's exactly right. But you've been a great mentor. We've seen you grow. We love that. We love that you're becoming even more of a baller than you've been. Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. You're welcome, my friend. And it's true. The point being, we have a duty to share with each other the things that we learn and do. And there's you, right? There's you. You're employed. You're an advocate for accessibility in your workplace. Yeah, you're doing it. Here you are spreading awareness. If we're in the know, we have a duty to share with our own peeps, our own disabled population, right? Our own folks. And part of Reach Career Mentoring, right? We said career mentoring because is part of the reason why is because in our population, in folks with disabilities, the poverty rate is more than double that of those in the non-disabled community, and same with unemployment, and so there's a massive gap there, a massive need. And I think when people try to envision, they can't envision themselves doing X, Y, Z because it hasn't been modeled for them. It's not out there. But yeah, you got to see your own peeps doing these things in order for you to not even just dream it, but to make it reality, right? You got to look out there and see your own face, your own people's doing this sort of work in order to say, you know what, I can do it. Part of Reach is because I'm also a big Marvel fan, right? Who isn't? And I remember reflecting and thinking back and saying, Professor X's Academy is cool, man. It's, here's this, he started this academy for like-minded individuals and who needed direction, and that's all it took. That's all it took was that in order to for them to learn and grow and control their powers and become leaders, become great, and become doing good in the world. And I feel that Reach is the same thing. We want a place for our peeps to be able to come together and learn from each other and be supported and understand that we're essentially limitless. This doesn't, a chair doesn't mean anything, man. Yeah. Please, my brother.
Yeah, absolutely not. The chair is just a means to get around.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's exactly. Aside from that, whatever, get out of my way, right? Let me do my thing. Yeah, that's right. And that's what we wish to espouse here. We want everyone to understand that. So again, please, we exist. Reach Career Mentoring exists. We'd love to have mentors or mentees if that's what you feel you need. And we, along with yourself, Vibe, we have a bevy of volunteer mentors who come from, all different backgrounds and different experiences who can help anyone on their pathway to hopefully a career, something that's going to be pleasurable but also meaningful in one's life, right? Yeah, good.
So that's the main thing. You gotta make sure you lead the people in the right direction.
Right. There's not enough of modeling of this of us, all of us here.
Absolutely.
Modeling exactly of hey, again, the definition of a limit is often what an ignorant society puts on us, or ignorant people. You know, really, they don't get it, and they try to define certain limitations, and and you and they just don't know, and it's okay because we're here to educate them. We're here to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
But people don't know. They're not in the know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our duty to tell them like, hey, we can do whatever you can, just a little bit slower, or at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, differently, but not less.
Yeah.
Differently, but certainly not less. And actually, better many times.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So how did this idea come together? Like like when it first started.
Yeah, you know, maybe Jennifer can talk about that.
Um, so this actually happened. We had talked about for several years that we wanted to start something like this. And it wasn't until the pandemic hit where we both actually had time and energy to put toward this endeavor. And, you know, a friend of ours said to us, well, why do you need to wait for that giant building and, and open your academy? Everything is done online over Zoom now. So we thought about it and we're like, yeah, well, why do we have to wait for an actual physical building? We should just have our mentorship program online, virtual. And in fact, it works way better for, you know, people who live across the country or who have mobility issues. And so that's sort of how the seed was planted about how we would go about doing this. So we just the mentoring part of it is just one section of what we do in our nonprofit. So we have mentors with mentees, and we pair them up virtually, and you know they meet on their own time. And this is a completely free service because we're all volunteers here, and nobody is charged anything. And it's our way of giving back to the community. The other part, what Reach does, is we do a lot of community outreach. Let me give you a few examples of that. So we had our debut event at the Ability Expo a couple years ago, and we hosted a dream career booth. And it was a dream career photo where people could dress up in their outfit that they could envision themselves, you know, being someday, like whether it's a fireman, police officer, or a physician. And we took Polaroids and let them take those home so that they could put it on their fridge and think back to that day. You know what? I remember that day. I was feeling really hopeful, and my dream was to one day become a chemist or CEO or whatever. And we want people, no matter what their stage in life or where they happen to be in their schooling, say, yeah, you know, I have, and there's no reason why I can't go for it.
Yeah.
So we kind of took that idea and we've cultivated it, and now we're being invited to schools, you know, middle schools, to have our little dream career booth for middle school students. A couple times we've been invited to a high school transition fair. That's where special needs students go, and their parents go, so that they can figure out uh, what they want to do when they graduate high school, whether that's going into the workforce or going to college or whatever it is, more training, vocational training. And so they invited us to be a part of that fair. And this one happened just this past week, the latest one, and we hosted our dream career photo booth, and we had lots of people stop by at our photo booth, and you know, they got to you know, just try on a different hat, literally, and we took photos and gave it to them, and you know, just said, hey, don't give up on your dream. Don't listen to people who don't think that you can do certain things. Don't listen to them, because all you have to do is try, and nobody should be setting those limits on you. You need to figure out how far you can go on your own. So you know, and that's our whole purpose of this, is that we just want to be out there encouraging people to whatever they're doing, to do their best and to just go for it, and don't listen to people who tell you you can't do things. Um, another event we have coming up is uh, inclusive story time at the local library, and this is WA's opportunity to sort of get out there and be one of these models to little kids. You know, usually story time at the library for preschool kids. Now, inclusive story time is for kids who may not necessarily be in school. They might be in preschool, but it's important for them to see someone who might look like them, who might be using a wheelchair, who might not be, you know, might have a, or you know, whatever it is, somebody
Anything,
who
learning
is,
disability, anything you want to call it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Neurocognitive, right? Any of that.
Yeah.
yeah. We just want to let them see that we are out there representing them, and they can do the same thing if they want to. Um, yeah, so community outreach is a big part of what we do, and honestly, it's really just the part that makes this all worthwhile. When you're working with these kids and this population, and they're seeing it for the first time. Not only are they having fun trying on hats and things like this, but to me, it's very heartwarming because we are planting those seeds of positive encouragement, and you know, just reminding
Yeah.
them not to give up.
Hopes and
Yes.
dreams. And yeah, it has to start there, and you have to have, again, a group of people who consistently support you and understand, right? Again, there's way too much negativity at times. Again, the world doesn't understand.
Yeah.
The world currently is not made for our disabled population at times, right? It's just not made for that. But it doesn't matter, because we're here to change that.
Yeah.
We're here to dig a path and say, you know what, get out of my way. And it's difficult, right, Vibe? You know, it's about blocking out the noise. There's always noise.
Absolutely.
There's always, yeah, there's always, you know, there's always this person and that person that likes to talk. And I let me ask you this, because again, you're a successful guy and you got a great attitude. How do you block out the noise?
I just be like, if it's what do you call it? If the conversation is, I take the part of the conversation, I let the other part go.
Yeah.
They part apart, and the other part needs to go because I don't listen to that.
No, that's cool. Yeah, we all have to have this healthy mechanism to block out the noise and just do our thing, you know, stay focused. And it's difficult too. It's difficult too, especially when again, we can feel a bit isolated without a community of our own peeps, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's like that all the time. You gotta have a ton of focus.
yeah,
Get to what you want to do. Like,
that's right. That's right. So
I mean, go ahead.
no,
For
please.
example, right? I think 2 years ago, I started using my Twitter a lot for sports reporting. That's only because no one, when I asked for help in high school, in college, how to be on a basketball team, they, they said not yet, and they kept saying not yet, and I couldn't wait anymore.
Yeah, that's awesome. Exactly, my friend. Yeah, that's such a good example. And yeah,
It's just saying like, okay, let's do this. They said not yet. I'm like, okay, not yet today, not yet. The next time, you know what? I'm gonna start to see how I can change that narrative, and I just start.
yeah, I love
And
that.
now I love it. Yeah,
Good, good. No, and I love that. I love that about you, and I love that story, because you're right. You're right. And you said the magic words, changing the narrative. And and in society, we hear not yet. We hear no.
Yeah.
We hear that again and again. And yeah, that's right. And you know what? No, we're not having it.
Yeah.
We're not having it. We're not okay with it. And again, you want to keep saying that. That's all right. You can get out of my way, right? You can get out of our way, and we're just going to do our thing. So you're right. We have to. We want to. We want to be there for everyone who feels this way and wishes to advocate for themselves.
Yeah.
Specifically in the career path, but hey, mentorship includes a lot of other things, and it includes just being there for each other. It includes what we're talking about right now, learning how to be strong and advocate, learning learning a mentality. Yeah. Right? I know you're a big Kobe fan. Learning the Mamba mentality at that, right? Yeah. That's right. That's right. He had that. He. It's okay. I mean, I think it's a good analogy. Yeah. While we're at it, right? If you talk about it, we always say that he didn't have quite the gifts, the physical gifts that let's say MJ had, or even a LeBron now. They have certain physical gifts. Not that he wasn't physically talented, yeah. But what did he do? He worked his butt off. Yeah. He outworked everyone. He was there before and after. Yeah, way after everyone. Yeah, and it was okay. It was awesome because he was obsessed with it, and that's how he put himself on that level, right? Yeah. And it's a good lesson. It's a good lesson. I feel that we in the disabled community, and I say that with pride. I don't say that in any funny way. Yeah. We in the disabled community, if that's what we have to do, then we should bring it. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. If you have to come earlier than everyone and leave later, and if you have to bring it and work twice as hard, absolutely, then be ready to do that. Yeah. Do that. Yeah. Yeah. Because you it's important enough to you or not, but bring it, bring it, and and don't save anything for the trip back. You work. Yeah, exactly.
Like empty out the tank.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's why we get along, my friend. Yeah, but this is and that's why you're a great mentor. Yeah. By the way, yeah.
Thank you.
This is exactly what we want to spread, and the world needs to see it. Yeah.
I mean, what y'all said is absolutely true. Either you're with us, or I'm sorry to say this. Otherwise, move to the side and let us do our thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's more than a movement. It's just it's the fairness that we deserve. Yes. I don't want to use any buzzwords, right? But it's the fairness that the just things that our population should have. Period. Just to even have a level playing field. But I know oftentimes we talk about level playing field is not even enough. That's sort of the bare minimum. We say, things like the ADA are becoming outdated, right? It's just barely enough. It's barely enough or not enough. It's just a bare minimum, if you will. But there's more. There's so much more. Yeah. And again, part of what we do is that we wish for people to look in the mirror and see that within themselves. See it. When you look in the mirror, know it and see it and say, you know what? It's 2025 now and beyond. And there's so much, it's, this ain't the 50s or whatever, it's 2025 and beyond. And there's so much, there's tech, there's all these things, and there's so much more that we can, resources that we can leverage to be what we want to be and what we need to be. So, I think that's what I'd love to leave people with.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good.
Talk about the the movement you used to kind of start and work with the project that you did. Was it the accessible restrooms or
Oh,
whatever we talked about?
oh yeah, no, thank you, my friend. So for many out there, I happen to be an oncologist at Kaiser Santa Clara, and really, really, unfortunately, and we're talking about even statewide or nationally, there's not a big enough movement for representation of our disabled community. There just isn't. It's low-hanging fruit, but there hasn't been there hasn't been enough attention to it. So at least locally, at Kaiser Santa Clara Medical Center, there's another doctor, and I have to give a shout out to him if I may. Yeah, his name is Han Lee. He's a cardiovascular surgeon, and it's okay. It's okay for me to tell this story. He's allowed me time and time again to tell it. He happens to have a daughter with a disability. And so he stopped me in the hallway one day, introduced himself, and we were talking, and it came about that, he said, "Hey man, we we have to have more representation for our disabled community, and let's talk about what that looks like, let's talk about what that looks like." And over time, we became friends. We were talking in the hallway. It turned into, hey, let's start our own, basically like a subset organization within the medical center, right? We call ourselves the Disability Alliance, and so we started that locally, and it's really just to give, again, our folks a voice, our disabled community a voice, and whether it's patient care or our colleagues as well, but just any and all matters related to disability, right? Awareness, education, accessibility, and spread the word. Now, part of that work, part of the major tenets that we just mentioned was accessibility, and it's unfortunate. Again, it's such a modern world, and these bathroom doors are, you have to be a weightlifter to open them, right? They're massive. Yeah, you have to be a weightlifter. You have to, you have to be this massive person with muscles and push through the door, and finally you can do your basic function that you should deserve to be able to do without a barrier. And so we fought to get those changed, and finally we did. It always takes a while.
Yeah.
But but we sat down with the right people. We professionally and appropriately made the right, made noise, and that eventually came to be. But we're working on so many other things now, and we hope that it spreads in the region, and it has to be that, right? Again, it was truly grassroots. There was no buzz about it, and it was just this annoying guy right here that you're seeing on screen. Knocking. No, hey, knocking on doors. I know I'm being sarcastic, my friend.
Absolutely.
Knocking on doors and saying, "Hey, it's me again. Let's talk. Hey, it's me again. Let's talk." And then, and yeah.
Sometimes it's required.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Well, you guys keep doing a great job, and then if you guys want to ever come back on and talk about other stuff, you guys are more than welcome to come back on.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is great. And I know Jennifer just asked how many restroom doors. We did. There's always male and female facing each other, and we did. I don't even remember how many doors total, but we did all the outpatient offices, and at least 2 to 4 on each floor type of thing. They actually went wild and did some extra doors that they felt they could do since they were at it, and that was nice. It was a nice bonus, if you will, a nice extra, bonus doors. But no, thank you, my friend. Hey, always appreciate you and appreciate who you are. yeah, yeah, you're a good friend, and yeah, and you're lighting it up. And so for that, thank you for setting a good example. Thank you for having us. Yeah,
Absolutely.
perfect.
And I just want to say, Vibe, that we've known you for um, I think maybe over a decade or just about.
9, 10 years. Yeah, yeah.
And I have to say that you inspire us too with your attitude and with your fearlessness. And I know that you talked about wanting to be a sports reporter, and you come across people who say, no, 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 and you don't care. You just go out and do it anyway. And yeah, and I think that it's really pretty amazing, and we're very proud to know you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Like,
good. No, yeah, yeah. Hey,
we ain't
yeah.
going nowhere.
Good, good. That's right. That's right. So, hey, thank you, our baller friend. Yeah,
Of course.
thank you, bud.
Salute.
All right, peace.
Bye bye.
Take care.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, there you have it. It's a wrap. Peace.